It's the final moments of the game. Your team is counting on someone to step up and win it. Would you be the one to put your hand up? Or would you shrink back, hoping someone else will take the spotlight? And when you look at your progress, your daily grind, are you really doing everything in your power to get better every single day? Or are you just going through the motions? Because here's the truth. Most athletes lie when answering these questions. They don't actually have the belief in themselves. They don't actually have the courage to step into the pressure when it's at its highest. And they certainly don't push themselves beyond their comfort zones. But that's exactly why most athletes don't make it. I work with pro athletes as their mental performance coach, but I also work with a lot of aspiring pros. And let me tell you, there's a massive gap between those who make it and those who don't. So in this video, I'm gonna call a lot of you out. I'm gonna show you that when it really comes down to it, you wouldn't actually pick yourself. And that you're not putting yourself in the uncomfortable positions necessary to join the less than 1% who actually make it. So let's get started. So when I ask the question, would you actually pick yourself? Most athletes lie. They say they believe in themselves, but their actions don't reflect it. They say they're ready to step up, but when the pressure's on, they're nowhere to be found. It's easy to talk about confidence when things are going well, but real confidence isn't built in those easy moments. It's built in the grind, when no one's watching, when you're pushing yourself harder than you ever thought possible. So again, let's be direct here. I want you to ask yourself, when the game is on the line, when it's your turn to make the difference, do you really step up? Or do you find a way to fade into the background, hoping that someone else will take the weight off your shoulders? Or do you even just let your opponent walk all over you because they wanted it more? Most athletes don't put themselves in those positions where the pressure is highest and where failure is as much of a possibility as success is. They don't push themselves to the point of discomfort, to the point where growth actually happens. They stay in their comfort zones, telling themselves that they'll take the leap when they're ready. But here's the truth, you'll never feel ready. You've got to make the decision to step up, even when it feels like you're not prepared. That's when the real growth happens. And that's why so many athletes never make it. They talk about a big game, but they don't actually back it up with action. They wait for the right moment, but they never create it themselves. They never put themselves in uncomfortable situations where they can prove they have what it takes. So look, the difference between those who make it and those who don't is very simple. It's about doing the hard things, the uncomfortable things, every single day. It's not about waiting for the right moment to step up, it's about creating those moments for yourself. You don't become mentally tough by avoiding pressure, you become mentally tough by putting yourself in high pressure situations over and over again. You don't build belief in yourself by playing it safe. You build it by stepping outside of your comfort zone and proving to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. Think about it. If you're not challenging yourself when no one's looking, if you're not pushing your limits, if you're not forcing yourself to be uncomfortable every single day, then how can you expect to perform your best when the game is actually on the line? Those who make it, like the pro athletes that I've worked with, don't wait for someone else to carry the team. They put in the work when no one else is around, and they push themselves when others are resting. They force themselves to face the uncomfortable moments head on because they know that's where they grow. If you're not doing that right now, if you're not constantly creating discomfort for yourself, then you're never going to be ready when the time actually comes. You won't have the mental strength, the belief in yourself, or the confidence to actually step up. So how do you fix this? How do you become the athlete who can step up when it counts? The athlete who backs up their belief with action? Well, it starts with making discomfort a regular part of your routine. You need to stop avoiding the hard work and start seeking it out. The truth is, growth doesn't happen in comfort. And this is super cliche, I know, but you have to make yourself uncomfortable every single day. And not just in your training, but in how you approach your mindset. Start by setting clear, challenging goals that push you beyond what you think you're capable of. Not just physical goals, but mental ones too. Put yourself in situations that force you to face pressure head on. Whether it's taking a bigger role in a game or stepping up in a leadership capacity with your teammates, start doing the things that make you nervous, because that's where the magic really happens. You've got to make a habit of stepping into those uncomfortable situations. Start small, but do it every day. The more you do it, the easier it gets. And the more you challenge yourself, the stronger your belief in yourself will grow. When the time comes, when you're asked to step up, it won't be a question of, am I ready? It'll be a question of, how will I deliver? Because you've already been preparing in every moment leading up to it. And that's how you build the mentality of a pro. By consistently choosing to put yourself in uncomfortable positions. By constantly challenging your limits and by always pushing for more, even when you don't feel like it. That's honestly the difference between those who make it and those who don't. The ones who make it don't wait for the pressure to find them. They go after it. So ask yourself again, when the game is on the line, would you actually pick yourself? Would you step into that pressure knowing that you've done everything possible to prepare for it? If the answer is no, then it's time to stop lying to yourself. It's time to stop telling yourself that you're ready when you're really just avoiding the hard work. And look, there's no shame in that. It takes more bravery to actually admit this in the first place. But after admitting this, you've now got to put in the work. And to help you take these first important steps, you should watch this video next.